Okay, both runners have started now. Sorry about that. There's a bit of a delay to that. I'm gonna see the card myself as well. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look at the sound sort of things. Yes, stream delay. Bit of a stream delay there. And it looks like they've got a pretty nice card set out. Nothing too strenuous. Looks like they're going to be spending a lot of time in Sand and in Lost. Hopefully finishing in Metro. Metro seems to be the place to finish right now. Both of the races are going to be rushing through Cap as quickly as possible. Okay. Yep, there's just a bit of stream delay there. That's my fault. Yep, both the runners going. Very nice objectives on both parts. I don't think any of them gonna go back to Cap Kingdom. I think they're gonna be rushing to do what they can in Cascade and potentially rushing to Sand. So both runners are just gonna get through Cap Kingdom as quickly as they can. Nerf's going to be having a little bit of an advantage to Crrool already going into Cascade. It looks like Crrool took the right path to get the extra coins for the... just to see if he can buy any of the moons later on. We'll just have to wait and see what kind of route they take for this from here on. And both runners are not on 1.0, so they're going to be doing the first moon. There's going to be not a lot of objectives in Cascade this time, so they're probably going to try and get through Cascade as quickly as possible as well. They might want to do the 35 regional coins, but it doesn't seem like Nerf is going to go for that one. Having a little trouble with the dinosaur. With everyone who's around this game, we've all been there. Shouldn't be too much trouble to get through Mad and Brutal. How hard is it to commentate on your own? At the moment it's pretty easy. Like, not a lot's going to be happening in these First Kingdoms. But I'm sure you, as soon as it gets deeper onto the into the run, it's going to be hard to keep track of which run is doing which objectives and things like that. Crrool's taking a different approach to which moons he's getting, and he seems to be going for the regional coins as well. While Nerf has already got the triple moon, and maybe heading to Sand, because Sand has got a lot of objectives there. We'll just have to see how it goes. We'll see if Nerf goes for anything else in this area. Looks like he's looking to get the regional coins. Yeah, thank you for the good luck. I will definitely need it later on in the runs when they're in different parts of the level and doing different objectives, so it's going to be difficult to keep track of. It looks like Nerf is going for the regional coins of Cascade, which is nice and easy to do. He's possibly looking at other objectives while doing this as well, to see if he needs to do anything else in Cascade. That's probably the one thing you don't want to do, is backtrack back to another level, because you lose a lot of time in going back to other levels. I don't see any moons. Nerf is also going to go for the... looks like he's going for the 14 moons in Cascade as well. Be interesting to see which rows he's looking to do, because he's also doing the 7 moons from 8-bit sections. Crrool is heading straight to Sand. No messing with any of the objectives in Cascade. We have to see if he comes back for those objectives later on in the run or not. So we'll just have to see what Crrool has planned for Sand. Maybe he'll go for the checkpoints. There is a lot of There is a lot of objectives in Sand, so maybe he wants to spend more time in Sand than Cascade. And who knows? He might rush to go get World Peace in Sand, because everyone knows that's going to take a long time to do. Whereas Nerf is trying to knock out a lot of the objectives out at once by doing 8-bit sections and moons in Cascade, comboing them very nicely. Looks like Nerf is going to be the first one to hit something on the board. He has acquired the 35 regional coins, but the runners don't have to mark it straight away. They can wait until they've gotten a checkpoint like that, so that they can properly mark it and double check they've actually got the objective as well. And now Nerf is also heading to sand, where he could have done the 14 moons in Cascade as well. You know, if he spent a little bit of extra time there, he could have completed the 14 moons in Cascade as well as the other objective, but who knows, he might come back. Now we gotta see where Nerf picks up the other objectives in sand, whereas Crrool has already started to knock off a couple of things. I haven't noticed that if he's gone for the checkpoints or not, but he has definitely he seems to be doing the any percent route of sand. Maybe to get the moons required to get out of sand as quick as possible. They've taken a moment to see what he needs to do. It looks like he's going for an objective that I can't see. I'm just wondering why he's going out of his ways to collect regional coins in sand. I'm just double checking the objectives here. He could be going for the 4 stickers, and he could be going back to Cascade for that reason. It'd be very unlikely for either of the runners to go for the full costume sets. The 8 full costume sets, but he can definitely go for the 4 stickers. And Nerf needs to remember that there is an objective for non-ground pound moons in sand, and he's grabbed technically 2. So he needs to remember that if he's going for that objective. But he's also grabbing those 8-bit sections. It looks like Crrool is going to go for the world peace in sand. And it could be that Nerf is going to go for the same objective. It looks like both runners might be going for world peace. We'll just have to see where they go. Or they might be just grabbing the checkpoint over to that island. Oh, that's got a sting. Nerf not quite making that jump, which can cost quite a bit of time. It looks like Crrool's going for checkpoints in sand. And Nerf, it looks like he's going to be getting moon shards as well as checkpoints in sand. taking another death to the poison. It is quite hard to maneuver through sand, while also double checking that you're getting the correct checkpoints as well. Crrool getting on the board with the 7 checkpoints. Just double check now. Yeah, that's 7 checkpoints. Crrool also needs to remember that there is an objective for non-ground pound moons, which he has gotten a couple now. That's another death to Nerf. Whether that was intentional or not, we'll soon find out. Now Nerf has opened the gateway to the World Peace area, so whether he'll actually go for it or not, we'll have to see. And it looks like Crrool is going to go for stickers, for the 4 stickers objective. Looks like Crrool is leaving sand, leaving a lot of potential objectives that can be done. Maybe he's looking to finish somewhere else, or maybe he's looking to go back to Cascade to get that other sticker or moons. We'll have to see if he's gonna do that. Opting to go to Lake Kingdom first. There are easy objectives in Lake where he can get the purple coins in Lake and the 20 moons quite easily. So we'll just have to see if he rushes through Lake, or he grabs the additional objectives in Lake as well. Looks like he's planning on doing at least regional coins in Lake. And Nerf is trying to do as much as he can in sand with the Jaxi. It's interesting to see how both runners have taken very different directions with this board. it looks like Crrool is going for another Moonshard Moon and possibly the 20 moons in Lake. And it looks like Nerf is also going for the stickers as well. So both runners have some similarity in their run, but have chosen to go in different directions with their actual objectives. So Nerf, going for the checkpoints, he opened up the world peace area thinking about it, but then probably changed his mind, thinking he would not do the other objectives in that line. So he didn't waste a lot of time doing that because he actually gained an extra moon in the Moonshard objective. So it wasn't too bad of an idea to do it. So now it's going to be interesting to see Nerf what objectives he picks up in the lake. Looks like he's going to go for the regional coins. Maybe to pick up another sticker as well. So he's going to go for regional coins and sticker. So that's two objectives comboing quite nicely. Looks like he's also going for the music note. To gain the 20 moons from Lake, potentially. It's still very unclear on which rows they are going for. Looks like Nerf is going to pick up another Moonshard moon, potentially. Looks like Crrool is having a bit of trouble on the brutal fight there, but managing not to die from it. It looks like both runners is going to go for the 20 moons from Lake, which could open up column 4, maybe, but then they would probably have to go Cascade for that. So it's still pretty open where their boards can still go in any direction. So we just have to see which moons each runner looks to go for. Crrool obviously having a head start over Nerf in this section because he entered the lake a lot quicker. Yeah, it looks like both runners are definitely going to go for the 20 moons. Just had to make sure, I guess. They have changed their minds a couple of times. Both runners using very similar routes to grain to get moons. Looks like Crrool is picking up that second sticker. Nerf having a little trouble with the NPC interaction on that moon. Also grabbing another 8-bit section moon. Crrool opting to go for the puzzle room. Both runners trying to finish up Lake. If it's going towards the sub area of this Lake, which can be a little bit tricky if you haven't been in this section before. But Nerf, being very varied with what rooms he's been in, should be able to have no trouble here. He's probably leaving the Broadle fight towards the end, knowing that that would probably give him enough moons to get the 20 moons section. Crrool doing the same room Nerf has just finished. Just about finishing getting 20 moons there. Both runners also completing the 15 regional coins. Oh no, Crrool! Don't do this. But yeah, that's the sort of thing that can happen to you in that room. It's very devastating because you got to start again. Crrool struggling through that sub area of lake again with the spinies. Now he has to start the room again. This is not a very... Yes, the fuzzy room is not kind to those who try to speedrun it. Nerf only needing that 3 moons from Lake now to finish off. Grabbing a hint up for Cascade, meaning that he could be planning to go back. And now he's doing Fishing Simulator 2017, Nintendo Edition. Having no luck catching any fishes. That moon can either be really nice to you, or not very nice to you. I think once they finished, both runners have finished 20 moons, they'll probably move on to Wooded, or even might go back to Cascade. We'll have to wait and see. Crrool go for that zipper room, trying to get the skip for it. Which can be a very difficult jump, because you can't see where you're going. I think he's now gonna do it the normal way. That jump is very difficult because you have to hit the void zone where you drop down to get the moon. And you could end up in the death zone instead of the void zone. Crrool just picking up that 20 moons. And also Nerf picking up that second sticker. So this is where the run will get interesting, where the runners would choose to go next. Yes, stickers are what go on to your Odyssey when you buy them with purple coins. With the objective they've got, they need to buy 4 stickers from 4 different levels with 10 regional coins. Depending on the level, I think it's a bit more or less. Looks like Crrool is going for Wooded. Nerf. Nerf looking to be finished with Lake. Now let's have a quick look at the objectives that they can do in the next couple of kingdoms. And it looks like there's not many in Wooded. So they're possibly going to get the 10 regional coins to be able to get the extra sticker for that objective. And maybe they'll probably have to do Wooded as quickly as possible. Nerf has forgotten how to count to 20 and grabbing an extra moon from Lake. It might be a strategical advantage of grabbing that extra moon. We'll have to find out later. Nerf just taking a minute to weigh up his options here. It's taken a long time to have a look at what he needs to do. And he's just figured it out. You might be having to look at where the 8-bit section is in this area. It's still anyone's game at this point. But both runners are looking to try and get out of Wooded as quickly as possible. While grabbing those 10 regionals for the extra sticker. It looks like both runners are going for the brutal fight in Wooded. It's a nice quick fight. Lots of moons to go up to get on the way to that fight. Yes, he only needs 10 regionals to get the sticker from this area though, so it's not a lot of regionals considering there are 100 regionals in Wooded. Be quite interesting to see if Nerf tries any of the advanced strategies that can be done in this area, whereas to the normal way of getting up to the brutal fight. It looks like he's not going for the extra moon to the right to get the nut. And it also looks like Crrool is going to go for the 50 regional coins in Wooded. Whereas Nerf hasn't picked up many on the way so far, but we'll have to see if he is going to go for it or not. Getting that flower skip jump down pretty nicely. Not grabbing the extra regionals from the down area, so we can safely say that he might not be going for the regional coins in Wooded. Both runners on the Brodo fight. There isn't a lot here you can do to speed up the fight. It's kind of very minimal optimizations on this fight to make it go a little bit quicker. As you can see from what Nerf is doing. He had his hat on the Brodel to knock his hat off while he's in the air. The score at the moment, Nerf having 5 objectives to Crrool's 3, but during the run that can go either way. And it's not how many objectives you get, it's which lines you get them in. Nerf opted to watch the cutscene to maybe have a look at what objectives he needs to look at. Picking up enough regional coins to get the sticker. We have to see if Nerf goes for that row 3. That seems to be where he has got a lot of his objectives from. But we'll just have to wait and see. I'll grab in the moon from the tank area, which is quite weird considering he was right next to it. Also not grabbing the moon off the nuts either. But instead go for the sub area for wooded. Which is moon shard. So he is going to go for another moon shard moon. And Crrool is getting another moon for 8-bit section. It'd be interesting to see if Nerf goes to get that moon as well, considering he has already gotten quite a few of the 8-bit sections. It is looking most likely that Crrool might be going for those objectives there. Cool, picking up that objective for the 50 regionals. Which you can also get a sticker as well. Nerf is also picking the 8-bit section moon. Looks like Nerf is returning to the Odyssey. Whether he thinks he's finished with... He has finished with Wooded. So that means he's not going to go for the 50 regional coins for Wooded, but potentially going for a different category, a different direction. So this is where he could potentially go back to Cascade or continue on to go to Lost, because Lost is the next section where there is quite a few objectives that they can complete. So, and Crrool also right on Nerf's tail, going towards that Bowser fight, which could give either runner a good advantage into going into Lost. Because this Bowser fight can take a long time if you mess up the hat cycle. Nerf going for the new strategy into Bowser, where you hit the hat in the midair, collecting it before he throws it. Whereas Crrool is going for the older strategy where you pick up the hat with your hat to take it to the platform. It is quite nice to see both strategies in play. Nerf dispatching that Bowser very quickly. Heading into Lost, where he could potentially pick up the 12 moons and the regional coins as well to pick up on that last and final sticker. Not quite getting the meme tree, whereas you would think Nerf, as being a very practiced runner, would be able to get that jump quite consistently. Just not quite making it. But then, obviously getting it the second time, no problem. Crrool going for the slower strategy of the meme tree, but having no problem with the jump. Nerf grabbing another 8-bit section moon, coming closer to finishing up that objective. And Crrool on his tail again, with collecting near enough the same objectives as Nerf in Lost so far. But we'll have to see if he goes for the 8-bit section now, or would he come back for it later. Looks like Crrool's coming back to the 8-bit section moon. It looks like Nerf is going for the 26 unique capture objective. Which could open up other rows on the board. Nerf picking up those extra regional coins to potentially buy that last sticker that he needs to complete the area. Yep, looks like he is. Oh, almost accidentally buying the hat. There we go. Now he's completed the stickers, which could potentially mean he is going to go for column 5, row 3, potentially he might go for row 2 maybe. We'll have to see on how he picks up the other objectives. And Crrool taking that other 8-bit moon that he needs. Noticing that Nerf didn't pick up the 12 moons from Lost, which could be quite an easy objective to get. But both runners heading into Metro. Nerf just checking out how many captures he's gotten. Probably going to be completing the regional coins in Metro, as well as Crrool looking to do the same. I will have to agree on that Metro is possibly a crucial part of the run, and where the run can be divided on who is going to win. Both runners picking up as many regional coins as they can on the way to Mecha Wiggler. Crrool taking a death on the elevators. Unfortunately, the elevators went up That's the time he wanted to go on to them. Nerf missing his hat on that jump, sending him back to the start of the bottom of the section, which is kind of heartbreaking in any category. I do not believe anyone has bought any costume sets so far. That doesn't mean that they don't purchase costume sets later on, when they have got a lot of coins in their bank. Both runners heading up to Mecha Wriggler, a fight that every runner either loves or hates, but majority amount hates. Looks like Crrool got a 3-stage regular fight, whereas Nerf managed to get it in 2, which is really crucial for any percent. If you can't get that second stage regular, most runners will have to reset because their PBs are just so good. Crrool getting another stage on Mecha Wriggler. Not quite getting those orbs hit. There we go, now Crrool finishing off that Mecha Wriggler. Be interesting to see where now Nerf goes, because this could separate the 2 runners in the race. Obviously going for as many regional coins as he can. Nerf missing those 2 coins because he flicked the wrong way off the pole. Just about hitting that hour mark into the run, where most bingo runs averagely last either an hour or hour to 5 minutes, or an hour to 2 minutes, depending on the objectives of the run. Both runners going for very different moons. Nerf have a little trouble with this pole section. It looks like Crrool is going to go for the musicians for moons. Yes, it does. Nerf looking to get another moon showered moon. Yes, sub areas are through doors, rockets, and pretty much anything that isn't a pipe. No, pipes do not count as sub areas as far as believe, because yeah, sub areas always have 2 moons. Oh, some don't. Yes, I'm not 100% sure on subsections. There is a list of bingo requirements, and there is a subsection area where you can have a look on what is a subsection and what is not a subsection. Nerf trying to find that last shard on where he doesn't know where it quite is. Spending quite a bit of time on this area. Yeah, he's still looking for it. And he's given up. Or is he? Who knows what he's trying to do right now? It looks like he's moving on. Now he's going to the scooter sub-area. Missing the regional coins. Yeah, it's hard to say what Nerf's plan is right now. Whereas Crrool is looking to get those extra moons that he needs for Metro for that 28 moons objective. Crrool just finishing that 6 moons from sub areas. For this run, clips are not allowed for anything. Has been both agreed on, both runners, that no clips are to be used. Crrool picking up that final sticker. They're almost falling off. Picking up that final moon for that 6th subsection in Metro. And this should be enough moons for Crrool to finish that 28 moons. Yes, that is 28 moons. Looking like to get onto snow as quickly as possible. Crrool does not need as many squares as you think. He needs to backtrack to Cascade. He needs to do 7 moons from 8-bit sections. And then he needs 10 regional coins and snow. And that's it. That's all he needs. Whereas Nerf needs the regional coins and snow, the 6 moonshots, the 8 moons and snow, and possibly the he needed. I think Nerf is in a little bit of trouble here because he has a lot of sections. It'd be very interesting to see what objectives Nerf picks up, because he needs some lines. Crrool finishing off that 10 regional coins of snow, having that first line, possibly heading back to Cascade to finish off the 14 moons and the 7 moons from 8-bit sections. It is looking like he is going to be picking up the 14 moons in Cascade and finishing off with the 7 sections, 7 moons from 8-bit sections. This is a triple bingo, so they all need 3 lines. Crrool is definitely in a better position here, because at the moment Nerf needs to do a lot of work. Crrool just finishing off those extra moons he needs from Cascade. Whereas Nerf is looking to finish in snow by completing row 4. No, he can't complete row 4 because he hasn't got the regional coins from Cascade, from Lost or Wooded, and he can't complete column 1. Nerf is going for column 5, row 3, bottom left to top right. He might be okay. He hasn't got the 50 regionals from Wooded, but he can knock off the 6 moonshots and the 8 moon snow quite quickly. Crrool is closing in on that final objectives, sorry. Finishing off the 8-bit section moons. I think all he needs is the 14 moons from Cascade. Now, I've lost count of how many moons he's actually gotten from Cascade, so we'll have to wait and see of how many he's actually gotten. And it looks like Crrool has won. He has finished the triple bingos, and he is here right now.
Hey.
Hello, Crrool. GG on your win.
Thank you.
Now, was your routing was bit all over the place at the beginning, but when did you start to finalize which rows you were going for and which columns you were going for?
I actually finalized it fairly early, as I was going through sand, but I kind of had to figure out which moons I would still have to go for, mostly on account of me usually running in 100% setting where there's a lot more moons around.
Yes.
But so Lake was a bit messy as a result. I kind of knew where I wanted to go with Wooded for the most of it, so starting that point, slowly but steadily, I started to kind of figure out, okay, this is where I need to go next, this is how I'm gonna pull them together, and should work out no problem. Yep.
I liked how you comboed the ending at I was a bit worried that you forgot about some moons and then you realized, oh wait, he could backtrack to a Cascade and finish everything off nicely together, and that is how you did. You went back and you managed to complete all the objectives that I thought you were gonna skip, but yes.
Yeah, I kind of early on figured the 14 moons is going to be in a position where I'm likely going to be going for it. But I also figured, you know what, I'll figure it out as I go along, make sure that that's actually what I need to do. And yo.
Hello, Nerf.
Yo, GG.
And returning there also allowed me to buy an extra moon and get an extra sticker if that would still be needed. So I kind of figured that'd be a cool way to tie them together without really losing any time if it turned out that I would need it, which I eventually fairly quickly figured out I did.
Mm-hmm. So good runs to you both, Nerf.
Yeah.
Good run to you too. What the only question I would like to ask, what happened in that tank
I don't like. So it just goes to show that I apparently don't know enough about this game. But two things really hurt me. One, not knowing how to finish that room, and I didn't get another 8-bit moon in sand.
Yeah.
So I was short. I was short those two things. So like, and I didn't realize it early enough. You know what I mean? So really, I just hurt myself by one, picking a route that I didn't know enough about, and two, probably not the best route. But hey, you know, you live and you learn.
And everyone was asking, what rows were you aiming for?
I was going row 2, row 3, column 5. So
I had column 5. I had column 2. I wasn't sure how you would do column 5. With yes.
Row 2, row 3, column 5.
Oh yeah, that's it then. Yes, because everyone was like very unsure on which rows and columns.
As you can tell, I was a little unsure. So practice makes perfect. I'm definitely out of it. So.
Yes, but very solid start. Very solid start with the objectives you were going for.
Yeah.
You had a very solid start, and then you started to sort of peter off around wooded. Wooded is sort of where you sort of got a little bit messy, and Crrool got a bit tidier, and that's where he sort of gained the lead back.
Oh yeah, my late game was definitely pretty atrocious. But
yeah, my early game was really bad, but then as I started to figure it out, things started to smoothen up a bit.
Yeah. So, Crrool, as looking at this run, would you do anything different?
Not mess up as much early on, and I would have gone. I would have taken a different approach with the last few moons I took in Lake.
Yeah.
Specifically, I was initially gonna go for the sub area where I got my last moon. I was gonna do that one first, but it was too late that I realized that I took the wrong sub area.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of do that other one where I got my last moon, mostly on account of just wanting to show off that one really cool jump that I've been practicing a ton, and then I couldn't get it, which I was kind of bummed out about, but I figured, whatever, I'll just get the moon the regular way now.
Yeah.
And move on, because I didn't know how far in Nerf was, so I kind of wanted to play it safe there, but that was probably like a hefty time loss.
In the zipper room where you're trying to hit the void zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you lost quite a bit of time in that section.
Yeah, that I definitely didn't play exactly the way I wanted to. I mean, like I said, I kind of wanted to show off the jump in the zipper room there, just because it's a really fun jump to do, and I had been getting practicing at it. Granted, I haven't been practicing much lately, so you know, I guess the rust adds up quickly as well, but I felt like I was consistent enough to showcase it, and then I couldn't get it. So yeah, that last bit right there is definitely, that bit in Lake is definitely where I would have gone different.
Yeah. And then, what about, sorry, Karen?
Probably, I would have gotten a little bit more moons in Wooded. I came out short in the end, which I was a little bit bummed about. I thought I had more, but yeah.
Right. Unif, what would you do different on that board?
I would have just picked some columns that I was more comfortable with. I went for some things that I know where the majority of these are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Because I was quite surprised you didn't pick up the 28 moons in Metro to combo with the 7 moons from 8-bit sections, which we were doing, and then didn't quite finish off.
Yeah. In hindsight, if I probably would have done row 4, because I was already planning to go to snow.
Yeah.
And then, you know, obviously I kind of realized that halfway through, and then I'm short on captures. So really, it was just me being indecisive and picking things that I wasn't confident with.
Yeah. Anyway, any last things you want to say about your?
No, I'm you know, it was a super fun tournament, so Definitely looking forward to the next one, and excited to see where the bracket stage goes from this. Obviously, I'm out, but I'm so excited to watch the brackets.
Yes. Anyway, from me, Pepsi Average, and the runners, Nerf and Crrool, better follow them all. I'll put the links in the chat now. There's runners, there's a commentary. Give these guys follows because they are really good runners and really cool to watch. And hopefully the rest of the tournament would be as enticing as this race was, because as everyone know, no one was actually known who was going to win because it was very close all the way through. It was very close.
Yeah, so it's probably hard to tell up until the last few kingdoms there. Once I did peek over, and once I saw that he was in Cascade, and I was that far behind, I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was about the point where I realized, wait, am I actually ahead in this? Because I really wasn't expecting to win.
Yes. Anyway, guys, GG on the runs. No problem, anytime. And
GG Crrool. That was fun.
We'll see you again.
Definitely was.
Thank you so much.